Hello, everyone, and welcome to the What the Sheet podcast, episode 53, where myself and Alana will be discussing and breaking down episodes 3 and 4 of Exandria Unlimited. More so episode 4, since there's not a whole lot to talk about for episode 3, but oh boy, was episode 4 an absolute banger of an episode.
Yeah.
That was jam-packed. That was like a almost 5 hour long episode.
Oh,
That one was wild.
Yeah.
But before we get into the shenanigans that was episode 4, there are a few things we'd like to talk about for episode 3. Starting with, I suppose, the chaos that was re-entering Iman. Where we got to see what was it? Tharla Star? Is that
Yeah.
Dariax's like alter ego?
Beautiful. That was so wonderful.
Yeah.
I want to know how long Matt has had that planned, or if that was something on the spot, because that was
Oh, yeah.
too good. Just
Yep.
coming up with that. Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised either way. If it was on the
Exactly,
spot, yeah.
Yeah.
Would not be surprised.
No, this party, they're just a chaos party, but like
They really are.
not even a regular chaos party. It's not like they're trying to be chaos. It just happens. I think this is probably one of this group of players with the worst roles of any.
It has been pretty bad.
It's
Like
been
Fern and
noticeably
Dariax.
bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
noticeably bad. Like,
Yep.
no, it's wonderful because it's obviously the bad dice rolls tell a different story. And then you get all this chaos and
Yep.
unsuccessful attempts at things, which is always fun.
Failure makes for good stories.
Exactly.
and-
Yeah,
And
100%.
it's been hilarious. And obviously in this scene, not only did we get the wonderful Tharla Star, but we also got Nancy. We got the chaos that was Opal and Orem trying to gather the rest of the party, and Opal decided that she had lost Nancy, her daughter, her 4-year-old daughter. My God.
I love the recurring theme of just shouting things out.
Yeah.
Especially like Opal, just shouting things out loud. And I wonder if that's where it came from. It was just a panic moment of shouting out a name and then attributing it to the halfling. Just like,
Yeah.
where's my daughter? Yeah, no. And oh my God, just Liam rolling with it. That was the best. Just like, Nancy, where's Nancy? Like, mother?
Yeah, that will probably be like my favorite moment of Exandria Unlimited. Even without seeing the next like handful of episodes, that's gotta be it. That's gotta be it. That was so good. I'm so glad that Liam yes-anded that whole scene. That was just
Just playing on with it and still so in character and
Mhm.
like, just confused but going with it.
Yeah, it's
It kind of, I think it describes Orem, confused but going with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's here for it. He's here for it. But once they were able to successfully, dodge the crowd, and they were pursued a little bit by the Nameless Ones once again as they were making their way over to a familiar magical shop. But they were again successfully able to evade those dastardly eyes, and we got to go back to an old home, if you will.
Yeah.
We got
And
to see.
It was nice. It was nice.
Yeah.
It was doing well. Lots of people in
Yes.
business. But when they went in and it's Sherry, right? Sherry's the shop assistant.
Yeah, there's
when it was, like,
Inanna. I think Inanna was her name.
Yeah, it was the gnome. Was
Yeah.
the little gnome assistant.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then Sherry's like
And then
the kind of classic assistant that we know.
Mhm.
When it was described that like oh, he's not here right now, I thought, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's like,
Yeah.
if Brie doesn't want to like do
Mhm.
more, that's cool. Like I understand the pressure of that. But no, she fucking killed it when
Yeah.
she turned up. That was
Oh,
so
wow.
good.
Yeah.
Well, just like the characterization was perfect.
Mhm.
I love this idea of this older Gilmore.
Mhm.
Still the same, but maybe a little bit more. Actually, no, he was exactly the same.
Yeah, he was. I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. And just like seeing Matt just like smile from ear to ear during that scene was really great as well.
Yeah.
And then of course like Opal like fangirling over Gilmore was super
Being
hilarious.
a fan the entire time.
Then even out of character like Liam and Ashley,
Yeah.
just being happy to see Gilmore again in this way
Yeah.
was definitely
Yeah.
definitely really nice. And I haven't well I wasn't like introduced to Critical Role with campaign 1, so I'm not like
Yeah.
as attached to like Gilmore as people who have been there since the very beginning.
Yeah.
But even as someone who came in from campaign 2, it's still nice,
Mm.
seeing these older characters from previous campaigns
Yeah. I'm the
pop up.
same. I think going through campaign 2, catching up, and then I went back to watch campaign 1 once I caught up with campaign 2. You kept hearing like, oh, you kept seeing the name Gilmore
Mm-hmm.
around. And I kind of like know, oh, this is an important character at some point in campaign 1, not realizing how kind of big they were in the story.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think like, yeah, there was obviously a lot of respect and a lot of hype for this character
Oh
in
yeah,
going into my campaign 1 watch. And so then when you finally get to, you're like, oh, okay, this is why this
yeah,
guy is like a
that's
huge
great.
personality.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, so it was nice. It was really nice just to have, because I
yeah,
remember the last bit of Gilmore we got was in Dalen's closet, and it was a little
yeah.
bit bittersweet. It was a bit sad because it was
Mm-hmm.
him learning about Vax, and it was him kind of like dealing with
Yeah.
those emotions. So it's just like, wait, no, sorry, that was Grog's one shot. No, we got, yes, no, never mind,
Or
I got
yeah,
that mixed up.
yeah.
Yeah, he was
In a
back
one
in
shot,
Dalen's
this
closet.
happened.
It's fine, but he wasn't super big in Dalen's one closet.
Yeah,
Dalen's closet anyway. But yeah, so it was nice to get him like
mm-hmm.
back in his old kind of habitat of being the shopkeep and
Mm-hmm.
having the insider knowledge to share with
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
No, it was just very nice.
It was it was a very chill scene too, and especially when we got to the shopping portion. And I love how Abria like put a hard stop to the shopping. She's like, you know what? I've reached my limit with the shopping. I'm done, and I
100%.
I feel that I definitely can relate to that at different points. Shopping's fun and all, but there it's to a point where it's like, okay, I'm ready to move on. I'm ready.
Yeah. What else is there?
And so I appreciate that Abria did that.
Yeah.
That was
I did like
that was nice.
the constant like friend, like the almost not so much arguing, but the competition between the discounts they were
Oh
getting.
yeah, and how Dorian got the absolute like worst deals.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh,
He's a bit of the fall guy in
yeah.
that scene. And in a couple of other scenes, I think too. But
Mhm.
it's great because he plays it so well.
Yeah.
Of just taking it on the chin a bit. No, it's good fun.
Yeah. Definitely tons of fun. Then we got a really intense moment after the Gilmore shop scene where they were on their way to exit the city on the cart, and it's Posca decided to show up
Yeah,
and commandeer the carriage, but with a clutch,
intense.
a very clutch charm person, they were sort of able to get out of that situation. But what was terrifying was
Yeah,
they pointed a lot of fingers at Gilmore,
yeah,
saying that Gilmore.
yeah. She said like he thinks he's untouchable, but everybody
Yeah,
sleeps. It's like,
yeah. I was
oh,
like,
I don't
oh,
like her now.
uh-oh.
Like she was kind of cool and mysterious
Yeah,
before. She just threatened my man Gilmore. Like,
yeah.
no,
Hell no.
she's yeah, she's in the bad books
Yeah, that
now.
was a
That
bit
was
terrifying.
yeah, she's confusing. Like I
Hmm.
don't know how I'm meant to feel about this character because she's
Yeah,
really cool, but yeah, then she's also evil or
right.
seemingly
Yeah.
evil.
But, just your average criminal.
Yeah,
They're pretty cool.
I guess so.
Pretty cool in a
But
criminal way, but
bad. No, it's really really interesting. I would have because at the start of episode 4, Abria described that as like would have been a lethal encounter.
oh
So
yeah.
I'm interested to see what that would have actually looked like had they
Hmm.
fought her. Yeah, so like if anyone could have gone down, or if they would have had to have bargained or gone
Hmm.
back to Wimon. I kind of hope they do like some kind of talks at the end of the series, and there are
Oh
questions
yeah.
like that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm also missing talks a lot.
I know. Oh,
um,
I miss Brian.
yeah, but no, but Yeah, intense, really intense, and oh my goodness, Fern, Ashley, the way she plays Fern as
Oh,
this, like she's really bright, like, well,
yeah.
she's really sweet and quite
Hmm.
innocent, but really intense, especially
Yeah.
with her magic.
Hmm.
Um, but I think she also knows that too, because there's also a moment in episode 4 where she was, like, playing up a really kinda sweet, uh, moment, but she was insinuating that her magic is super powerful and
Yeah.
super intense.
Hmm.
Um, which I think is just spot on Fey Wild like nature
Yeah. Yeah.
to the T. So it's so good. I'm love that she's a fawn. It's such a cool character
I
choice.
know. And like all of these characters, we're only halfway through this series already,
Yeah.
and like each one of these characters, just there's so much about them that I want to know.
Mm.
Like they're all just
Yeah.
so interesting, and we're getting a little like pieces here and there. Especially in episode 4, we got a lot of pieces from like Fern. We got some from Opal.
Dorian, we got
Yeah,
like
we got some Dorian stuff.
some little
Like, oh
crumbs from
man, yeah,
Dorian.
little sprinkles of
Yeah.
some stuff. But I am loving all these characters, and I'm still kind of not sure what the overall quest is story. I know they're going to
They're
the
heading,
Conera.
yeah, is that in the Rife Peninsula? Is that where they're
I
going?
think so.
So they're heading there to get a means of translating
The
the
rune.
sin the
Yeah.
rune that they saw on the
Yes.
plateau.
Yes.
Um,
So I'm wondering. I'm guessing that's the main quest and stuff, or if this really does end in like a TPK and there was supposed to be more.
I've got theories, like,
Oh
that I'll get to
God.
at the end, because, yeah, there's some funky time shit happening here. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, like,
Mm-hmm.
which we see brought up again a lot in episode 4,
Mm-hmm.
with, like, Dark Fern mentioning things, and it's like,
Dark Fern.
because we've missed the session 0 where stuff
Yes.
happened,
Mm-hmm.
um, which I think is why maybe there's some confusion as to what the plot is and what's
Yeah.
happening.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't see session 0 where things happened. Obviously not relevant enough to share, but
Mm-hmm.
things have happened, and then there is maybe stuff. There's obviously then stuff happening that either the characters don't know or the players. I don't know if the
Mm-hmm.
players don't know, because when she talks about this week that's missing from their memories, is that something that the players don't know about, or is that like meta knowledge that they have?
Mm-hmm.
So again, I want to know, kind of like, I don't want to know the information. I just want to know
Yeah.
where we're standing on what's meta and what is known and what's not known.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, sometimes I feel a bit dumb. Like I'm like, what? Like, why? um,
Yeah.
but then I think like, oh no, I don't think we're meant to know that. Um, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool. It's
Yeah.
interesting. It's like a different. Um, it's a totally legitimate way of telling a story of like
Mm-hmm.
find out hopefully at the end.
Yeah.
Very lost.
Yeah.
Like,
Unless it ends in a TPK. But what Neo Umbra is saying in chat, could they be stuck in a time loop? That's what I was kind of
that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
that's what I was kind of thinking as well. Especially, I guess now we can dive into episode 4.
yeah. We'll get to that. That's my main prevailing theory.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting, because a lot of the stuff that was sort of commented on as far as how do you pronounce Anjali's character? Fira Rai?
Fire.
Fira Rai?
I feel like I just want to say fire because
Yeah.
it's like fire. Fira, maybe. Let me see if because they did mention pronunciation. I'll see if it's anywhere.
But when we figure that out, where are my episode 4 notes? Here they are. 2 different sheets of paper. So yeah, they were successfully able to evade Pascha and all that, and they were able to continue on their journey to this ancient Conera site area. And along the way, because it was a couple weeks journey, very long ways away. They did a little bit of talking little backstory talk. And curiously, Dorian has been very reluctant to share any information
Yeah.
on his backstory, which is kind of strange because I feel
Yeah.
like a stereotypical bard, they're like an open book, they're always
Mm.
willing to talk about themselves, there's that whole like narcissistic trait that bards typically have. But it's
And
just
it's
cool that it adds like another layer of mystery to Dorian's character.
and it's kind of tricky too because they are doing a shortened campaign, but
Hmm.
there is not excessive, that's the wrong word, but there is like extended travel in it.
Hmm.
So when they're traveling, I think at one point Bruce said like 3 weeks you've been traveling on the road. It's like you
Yeah.
would think this sort of stuff would come up, but then it's hard to allow role play in all those situations.
Hmm.
So I think it's interesting that he is being so aloof with his backstory,
Yeah.
it's just like I just want to know more.
I know.
But it was so well, it was so well done. It was like
Yeah.
I really like watching Robbie play Dorian because he's
So good.
so likable. He's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
likable. You're just like, what a cool guy.
Yeah. He is a very,
Uh,
very charismatic individual.
and yeah, I think this is like one of Robbie's first time playing D&D. Is that
Hmm.
right?
I think
He's
so, yeah.
killing it. He's
I know.
absolutely killing, like, not even just the role play, his mechanics are, like,
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
And just, like, his characterization of, like, just being in character and not being afraid to, like,
Hmm.
set boundaries for his character of, like, saying, like, "Well,
Yeah.
maybe let's not talk about it right now," like, because
Hmm.
I feel like I feel like whenever I play D&D, I'm like, "Oh, no, I can't possibly share my backstory." So I was like, "Come on." I'm like, "Okay, well, here's my backstory."
Yeah.
Like,
Here is
I just
everything that I've written.
yeah, here's the 20 page. Like,
Yeah.
it's so good. I'm trying to find because I think I saw Robbie tweet a little while ago, maybe last week, talking about how he's enjoying playing this kind of irregular bard,
Mm-hmm.
or an off kind of script bard.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find it. Oh yeah.
Hmm.
No, what's really fun, playing against type, aka a bard of reason, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, break those
That is,
stereotypes.
yeah. Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see because it feels like Abria has maybe set up for each of the characters' backstories to be intertwined with like the overall arc of the show, which is going to be really interesting to see how it all sort of connects in the
Yeah.
end. Because I feel like it really all comes down to that pocket in their memory that they're missing.
Yeah.
That sort of like solidifies why they're all here and what they're doing and what their purposes are.
And Ted's got to be involved with that pocket somehow. Like,
Yeah.
we learned this episode that Ted left shortly after
Mhm.
Opal. We don't know how long it's been really since Opal left.
Mhm. I think she had hinted at like about a year,
Yeah,
at least around that time, because on Twitter, someone asked how old Opal was, and she says probably 18 or 19, and we know she left at 18, so it's probably been close to a year.
Okay. Well, we know, because we know that Ted left shortly after Opal.
Hmm.
So we need to think, like, how long has she had these powers? Like, Ted is clearly either her patron or connected with her patron. So something's not right there. Like,
yeah. So strange.
and she doesn't seem to know it either. She seems to, I don't know if that's what I'm picking up, but what I'm picking up is that Opal seems to think that Ted is just talking to her some other way. Like, does she think, I think Ted's dead, right? Like,
that's what I'm thinking. Maybe.
Or trapped or something, or like soulbound or something. But
maybe.
He seems so chill with it.
Yeah.
He seems so okay with it.
Yeah.
But we can get to that kind of conversation they had in a bit, because we had them pulling off the path to this glade, to a gate to the Feywild.
Yeah.
Which I want to know, is that the gate? Is that Artigan's gate?
I feel like that's gotta be the Artigan's gate. Yeah, I think that's gotta be it.
It's like, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Really exciting. I was getting like chills because when like the Twitch chat and then like the Discord chat, they were like when Fern was being pulled to this, there's like a pull. We were like, what's going on? Is there like some like Fae stuff going on? And then when Abria was describing the glade and the archway, like I was like, oh, is that it? Is this the gate?
I read a theory and like I saw a few people talking about saying like it was her because she was failing wisdom saves,
Mm-hmm.
and the suggestion is that it was the crown. It was the Spider Queen's crown, drawing her to this, showing her dark potential. Like,
Interesting.
and that's what Dark Fern was essentially this manifestation of Fern if she were to put on the crown, because Dark Fern had this kind of crown of thorns. And so her failed wisdom saves was essentially her like being tempted by it. But then it makes me think like, okay, but if she saved from those saves, would they just have continued on and completely bypassed this character?
Yeah. that would have been pretty tragic because that was a really cool scene.
Yeah, it was a really cool intro. That she might have met up with them at another point. But
probably.
No, it was really cool. It was a really cool dynamic of we've got this dark Fern that has emerged from the gate. We've got Fern herself, who's kind of dark in her own way.
Like, surprisingly. And I love the and I love the idea of like having characters like fight dark versions of themselves, or like, you know, like evil like alternate timeline versions of themselves. Like it's so cool because it allows like the player character to have like an interaction with themselves, ask them questions, or like get a peek on like how things could be if different decisions were made and stuff. So I really think it's a really cool scene to sort of create for your characters.
Or it's like Scott Pilgrim, and you just realize that you're the same person and you're kind of friends. Just like very separate ways. But no, I like that because I liked we had the combination of them being wildfire druids, and then you have Anjali, who's like a fire genasi. So this kind of constant, very strong theme of fire in this setting was real cool.
And at first when Anjali came on and Abria was describing the entrance and stuff, I thought they were fighting her. Like I thought she was like the bad guy in that scene. I was like, oh wait, what? What's happening? But then I realized that it was Dark Fern that was the baddie.
No, she's really cool. She's a monk, which is awesome. I loved Ashley reacting to her being a monk. Like, key points. That's really cool. No, it's cool. And I'm wondering, because like I said, I said this to you before, it feels like Anjali's going to be in it for maybe the rest of the show now.
I definitely hope so. She's a wonderful role player.
So cool. She's so cool. We'll talk about the pageant stuff afterwards. It's just like
so good. So good.
Everyone. But no, it was a really cool introduction. Really cool character design. I did actually get spoiled because I had to watch the episode later, and I went on Facebook and they said like introducing this character. I was like, okay, cool.
So that happens. Yeah,
that happens. But such a cool character design. Give me any genasi with fire hair. It's the best thing ever. I'm excited to see her in the whole thing. I'm wondering if I see some people in chat saying maybe she was going to be in it from the start but couldn't make it.
Because it sounds like when like after the fight was over and stuff, they were like, you like remember her kind of like there's something about her that's familiar.
And she has this missing memory as well. Like, she has this like hole in her memory. So it's going to be interesting to see, or like it's going to be good to have the explanation of like this party makeup, where they're from and what's going on.
And I'm interested as to why she's level 4 as opposed to being the same level as everyone else.
That's really interesting. And because we don't know what type of monk she is, do we?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure if we saw anything that indicated, unless people in chat maybe caught on. But I was trying to pay attention to figure out what type of monk she might have been, but it didn't click for me. I'm certain there's someone that's been like, well, this like the way her hit points are stacked, she's clearly this type of
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because people are scary when they can do that.
I would my initial thoughts would be like, because like fire genasi and stuff, I automatically default to the elements one.
Oh yeah, part of the 4 elements. Yeah,
could
Sun
be.
Soul's a good guess.
Oh yeah. Monks are just so cool. It doesn't matter which type of monk she is. They're all amazing. Yeah. They're all so badass.
But yeah, Dark Fern was scary.
Oh yeah.
How she was kind of like this broken aspect, like parts of her were was glitching and not. Yeah, scary. Probably scary.
It's like, cause like how. Like, was that just the circlets doing? Like, how was that Dark Fern even like created?
And there was that whole element of time again of like, I've killed you all before, but you need to come back now. And I know that there is time dilation in the Feywild, but even that is weird. Like, just to be like, I've been here, and then you need to come back with me now. And something about her parents, like our parents were fools, and our grandmother.
Oh yeah, I wrote down what was said. Yes, okay. She sent the letters. She gave the gifts. Our parents ran.
Oh god.
So who's the she? Is the she the Spider Queen? Is the she the matriarch of the Sealy Court? That the High War Queen of the Burning Veil? Who is the she that is giving the gifts and the letters, which caused their parents to run?
I don't know. It's really like, yeah, it's really confusing. Of like,
yeah, because
the Sealy Court is generally because then, well, when did that come into it? That was when they were talking about. That's who she said, right? That's who she said we needed to go see. We need to go see the war queen.
Yes, she said yes.
The unforgiving, the war queen of the Burning Veil.
Yeah.
Of the Sealy Court. The Sealy Court is generally seen as the light side of the Feywild, like the kind of. Not so much like, I guess kind of the good side of the Feywild, even though they're still super messed up. Everything Feywild is super messed up, but they're kind of seen as like the good aspect of the Feywild. Or at least of the court. But the Burning Veil implies some kind of fire, and but there's Dark Fern talking about it. I don't know.
So it's like, okay, so if they're like the good side, in quotes good side,
relative in Feywild.
Then is Fern like actually like evil?
Well, no, I don't think so, because I think with her like I don't know. Generally, like there is like a visual element to like the Feywild too, where like the Sealy Court is like quite good looking and the Unsealy Court is quite evil looking. So I think Fern herself is a clear representation of a good Fey creature. If that don't judge a book by its cover, but you know what I'm kind of getting at. Like fawns are generally good, or at least not evil creatures.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. We don't know, because we don't know what her relationship with the Feywild is. We know she was sent by her grandmother, and now we've gotten some dissenting information about her grandmother
and now
what appears to be an evil creature.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Because now, like, what's her grandma's deal? And like, what happened to the parents? Parents are gone, so the grandma obviously had to step in. What is going? These characters. What is happening with all of these characters?
Yeah.
God.
This is also like, yeah, I'd love if there was like some throwback to Artigan as well. Like,
yeah.
because he's like he seemingly hated the court and the other archfey, so he's really.
So then, okay, so if they are, is now a good point to talk about the time loop theory because of the weird time stuff.
Yeah, so it's tricky to get your head around, but there's like this kind of feeling that they've done this before, maybe, or not necessarily exactly the same thing, but they've been in situations before that they've forgotten about. I don't know how well that plays in with the time that they've lost. They've only seemingly lost a week, but the way the Dark Fern was talking about, I've killed you before and I get to do it again. But she also specifically mentioned that she hadn't killed Fyra before. Like,
yeah.
So did Fern kill them in the session 0, like in Thordax
Oh
pit?
shit! Damn, maybe. Oh god.
Oh god.
But yeah, it's interesting if like they're stuck in a time loop. Was this like one of the loops where Fern, went evil, the evil route and stuff? It's like, oh man, so interesting.
Time is a weird soup. So.
It could end up being like as funny as that like little comment was. That might be like the main like tagline of this series, where everything is just really strange.
They go into the Feywild and they come out before they started. Like,
oh my god. Oh,
not how it really works, will it?
I know, but that'd be so. I honestly, as confusing as like time travel and stuff can be, like it's so cool still.
I think when you do anything time travel, you should just be like, I don't care if it makes sense. Like,
yeah, exactly.
There's no way to justify time travel. Just do it.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a paradox whenever you do time travel, so you may as well just do it.
Yep. But that it remains to be seen if it is weird timey-wimey stuff, as Felice aptly put.
As Eric says in chat, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, if there was a TPK in session 0, some time shenanigans would be a fun way to deal with it. Yeah, I like to think that maybe there was some kind of serious, something bad happened in the session 0, and that's why there is like this missing point. And did we get a sense? Did they mention that maybe not all of them were playing the same characters in session 0 as they're currently playing?
I don't know.
Or was that just maybe fan predictions?
It might have been just fan predictions, but I'm ultimately not entirely sure. But shifting back to Opal and Ted, we got a really intense scene. Between Amy and Abria, playing Opal and Ted.
We're all Robbie in that scene. I'm just like,
yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, I was like, I grabbed like my pillow and I was like hiding like behind my pillow. I was like, oh god, I
shouldn't be privy to this conversation.
I know.
Like
oh my god, very personal. Oh my gosh, and there was just a lot of emotion in that. A lot to unpack there too. Seeing as like Opal seems to be like the star child of Byrodin and stuff, where Ted was always in the shadows and stuff, but it seemed like Ted heavily relied on Opal, and Opal sort of got tired of it.
Yeah, and then we get, like, Ted clearly got upset, but we don't know to what extent that Ted is, like, involved with Opal's powers. We obviously get the sense that she can take away Ted's powers.
Yeah.
But what does that mean? Like,
right. Oh.
Yeah, because I saw like a lot of things saying like, yeah, she clearly got upset, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she's not so much the victim here, but like, because those stingers that Abria does of Ted, they're really spooky. They're really off-putting for this character of Ted. Of like it's like, oh, I don't know if I trust this character so much. Yeah.
And because it seems like, I don't know, because obviously Opal is young, and this feels like a very, like, the arguments they're having feels very, like, typical, like, sibling arguments and stuff with one relying on the other too much. But it seems like, and what is probably the case, that Opal doesn't know like the full story of what's going on with Ted and stuff. Because I mean, obviously there's something deeper because Ted is able to give Opal powers and stuff.
Yeah.
So it comes down to, again, like what happened after Ted left, potentially in pursuit of Opal. A little more than or a little less than a year ago when Opal originally left, caused all of this to happen. So it'll be interesting to see if it's somehow able to be woven into the main story. And to be fair, there might not really be like a main story. Like this could just be a quest they're going on, like they have to find out, they have to decipher what this rune is, and like the main like story stuff is these characters and their backstories and all that stuff. Which is probably what it's going to be. It did seem like there were a bunch of different threads that they could have followed when they were back in Iman. It's just whichever one stuck was, just going to be what drove them forward. But what's really going to drive the story is their characters and the stuff they're going through.
The real story was inside us all along.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much. But luckily, oh, go ahead. I was just gonna continue the order of the episode.
We got more like Dorian again in this scene too. Like he was trying to reach out to Opal a little bit, but we also saw before they even engaged Dark Fern, he gave Dariax essentially a fake story of of his heritage.
Yep. The carnival.
Yeah, so there's got to be some, because he had mentioned like his people before his people fell, like in episode 1 or episode 2. So there's some Genasi shit happening. Oh god, I'm just so keen to learn. Like he called like his wing boots his ancestral wing boots. I've spoken about this before, but I want to know the Genasi lore of Taldore or Exandria. Because I'm getting the sense that maybe he's not from here either. I'd love if he's from like the elemental chaos or something like that, or the elemental planes. That would be really cool. But and he's the way that he's so adamant not to share it is interesting. I think it's very like, because it's not so much like, it's not very interesting. It's just like, no, I'm clearly uncomfortable with this conversation. Let's talk about it another time. And they all respected that. Strangely, I think I'd be like, no, tell me. Much like Dariax was doing to Fire as well.
When she was trying to figure stuff out. But it was nice, that little conversation that Dorian and Opal had. Opal being like, "Oh, don't talk to me. You insulted me by not wanting to, share your backstory with me, not feeling comfortable with doing so." But then Dorian sort of opening up about his brother, saying how he can relate to the apparent struggle that Opal is having with Ted. So again, it could just be another, like maybe Dorian was banished wherever he was from, and it had something to do with his brother, or could be anything.
Felice has just put it in chat. Either he's a storm giant or a drow. I'm now 100% on board with the storm giant theory, that he comes from a family of storm giants, and like,
and he was like the runt.
He's like the runt because he says that his brother's like bigger than him.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. Dorian, the runt of the litter. Well, we don't even know if his name is actually Dorian, because in episode 3, when they were meeting Gilmore, he almost introduced himself with a different name, like a BR name. He was like Burr, and then he stopped. Dorian. Yep. There it is. So, I mean, there's still, there's so many layers to these characters. Oh my god. I just want to know. Like we're already halfway done. We only have 4 episodes left. Like, what happens in these 4 episodes? There's got to be a reason it's only 8 episodes long, right?
I wonder if it was planned at that, or if that's how many they kind of got to. I don't know.
Crack theory, Dorian is Varen.
What's that? I missed that comment. What's that?
That's a tinfoiler right there.
Was that comment? I didn't see it. Oh wait, Dorian
But that
is
was
Fern.
Felicia.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, maybe.
Did
I mean,
he?
it feels like anything is possible right now. So
I feel like that'd be a very specific choice for Robbie to make.
yeah,
um,
yeah.
for his first D&D character.
But hey,
But I love it. We
headcanons.
welcome all theories here. All theories are welcome.
They could only afford for Brian Foster to write 8 episodes for them. Ah, okay, yeah, that makes sense, Gareth. Yeah, that definitely
That's
makes
great.
sense. No, but okay. So who's this purple cloaked lady? Mirada Nilsalar.
So she's like, I assume she was just some kind of like warden of the forests around
Yeah.
Singhorn. Yeah, I
Yeah,
just got the
that's
sense that
probably
she's
what it
like,
was. But what was she doing to Opal? Like,
yeah.
why did she
Mm.
choose Opal to like focus in on and
She seemed like she
protect
just
her
had no
thoughts?
sense
Yeah,
like, of manners.
yeah, that
um,
too. That too.
yeah. Unless she's seen Opal before.
Yeah, because
And
of weird like timey-wimey stuff. Like
I,
what if this Mirada is like Tilda Swinton's character from like the MCU?
she's the ancient one.
Yeah, she's the ancient one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where she's like she's seen all the timelines. It's like, what timeline is this now? Need to look into your thoughts and see what's going on.
Yeah, because they were doing something weird to the portal. They were like,
Yeah.
but they said it was like we're not closing it. We're just stabilizing it or something like
Yeah.
that. But then they also said we've never been here before. Or we've never seen this before,
Mm-hmm.
which concerns me. If like this is Ardigan's Gate, and they're like, we didn't know this was here. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, which
so
means maybe it's not, because I feel like if you're a warden of this area, you'd probably know.
I saw people like saying it'd be perfect if it was Ardigan's Gate. Like if Vex organized Ardigan's Gate right next to where her dad lives, like just to
Yeah.
with him. Um,
Yep.
but
Yep.
no, it's tricky. I suppose there are gates to the Feywild naturally in the world. Like there are the ones in the old icy mountains. I can't see my map, but you know the one that they initially went through with the nymph and that. What's the name of that icy place? I can't remember.
The
It's been a
icy
while.
peaks.
The ice peaks.
Yep. Yep. That's what it is now.
The ice peak portal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up.
That's probably it's probably something like that. That's probably what it is. But so with
Sorry.
we were close. We were close. Ice, frost, they're basically the same thing.
Yeah.
But so shifting focus back to Fern, after this scene was more or less concluded, she felt like a presence. She felt the presence of the High War Queen, sort of being disappointed or like frustrated or annoyed maybe with Fern's decisions, which is strange.
What if she was sent to like retrieve Ardigan or something, or like
Oh.
that'd be hilarious.
Yeah. Or if she was sent to retrieve the crown.
Ooh.
And the dark Fern was like her like going against the War Queen and like using it for herself.
Well, they could have just wanted Fern to use it to be like, fuck up the Unseelie Court or something, because they're constantly they're constantly going at it. But it's that whole balancing of they both need to exist.
Yeah.
So, but then she also said, I wasn't sure with the way Abria described it. She said like, and then this fades. Did that imply that like she forgot it, or that it just kind of like she came back to kind of reality a bit?
I think it's the latter.
Yeah, okay. Because when I first saw it, I was like, oh, did she forget that? It's like that makes more sense for her.
Forgot it instantly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was spooky. It was real spooky.
Yeah. That's all right. That was the last spooky thing that we got this episode, I think. Because the latter half was
shit in
a very major tonal shift.
Tonal shift. That's what
for this episode. And as I we can just not worry about chronological order for this part of the episode. This was probably now in like my top 5 favorite like D&D moments, scenes, whatever you want to call it. This whole pageant was just peak chaos, and I love everything that happened. It was so good.
It had strong like TravelerCon vibes.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
in any D&D game, when you do present like a carnival or you present a festival or games, it's the best because you just get. It's like you go to a carnival. It's like real life role
just having
play.
some
like
fun.
You're just pretending you're at a carnival. It's so much fun. But the talent show aspect was really great.
Mm-hmm.
But even better, I think, to frame it around this idea of a pageant of a gem queen.
Yeah,
really exciting.
What a perfect name.
Yeah, but I love Ruby.
Oh my god, Abria's Ruby was so good. Oh my god.
Her like kidnapping Orym just to feed
the
fly.
Yes. Oh. I need to rewatch that whole scene again just because of how amazing it was. But then it was also interesting to see sort of Opal being back in her hometown and not really feeling it entirely.
Yeah.
Being a bit, put off. But then Anjali's character like raising her chin, sort of like trying to give her the confidence that she needs. Oh.
I'm excited for Fira. I'm gonna go back and rewatch just to get the correct pronunciation. Yeah. But I'm excited for this character because she seems capable. Not that the rest aren't capable, but she seems capable. But she also seems quite stoic and focused, which perhaps the party needs a bit of, because they've got Orym, but Orym is also very much like, all right, if this is what we're doing, let's go for it. Because I think it's telling that both her and Orym didn't participate in the pageant, while the rest of the absolute loons did. So I think it's going to add a nice balance to the party as well. But that kind of, she does have this kind of caring nature to her. That is just, it's going to be interesting to explore. Also, the fact that she's a fire genasi, like, just.
And it feels like she's meant to be like their protector. That's kind of what she was trying to get at, which could be why she's a higher level as well, and why she has this like sixth sense ability to like see if they're on the right path or something, or to see what they need to do.
She said she closed her eyes and looked at her eyelids. Was that it? Like.
Yeah, she like rolled her eyes back or something.
Some kind of divination.
I was thinking that unless she's the one who's able to see the timelines.
Oh my goodness.
And she knows that when things need to get done.
Oh my goodness. I've just like also, no spoilers, but I've just also finished watching Loki, so like all this timeline stuff is like, like my mind's already frazzled from that. So like time. Everything is time related now.
Time is a weird soup.
Yeah.
It really is. But then can we, like, Anjali and Liam, and all of them, to be fair, but specifically talking about Liam and Anjali, they are just such brilliant role players and improvers. Like, Lyle and Cinna, just totally amazing. And I desperately want Cinna to just travel with them now. For the rest of the series.
She's a homegirl. She's like, she's I think she's too in love with Byroden to leave.
Yeah. So gosh darn good.
That was incredible. Not only that, like, they got these random characters to suddenly roleplay, but the fact that Liam managed to. Well, both of them managed to facilitate this entire personality instantly for each of the characters, and they were so different. But Anjali making her character essentially a rival to Opal, was brilliant. Like,
that was awesome.
I couldn't believe how quickly that came about. Of just like, I don't know, maybe she's got some experience with pageants or something, but like the way that character came across, that mean girl-esque,
Mm-hmm.
kind of sickly sweet personality of
Yeah.
absolutely
But
playing the game of this
but
pageant.
what it feels like, I think Opal is actually the mean girl.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, is Lyle actually like the good one?
Kind of
Maybe.
get the sense that Lyle's like, oh, Opal left town. Now I have a chance to kind of be
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, to kind of like, you know, get what his own
Oh
way,
no.
and then Opal comes back. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, that's actually so funny. But I love Dariax like standing up for Opal in a way, and like,
backing her up.
yeah, making the fart sounds and stuff, and then Opal giving him a big old kiss. It's
Yeah.
just and then Dariax blue screening afterwards.
Oh, Matt was amazing as well. Like the
Oh,
way
I know.
it's like I can totally imagine Derek's just been like, yeah, signing up for a pageant. Wait, what am I doing? Like, what is
Yeah.
this? Because all his actions were just like completely confused and
Mm-hmm.
like waiting for his name to be called and then being like, oh, what am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
So it's great. So him like copying Dorian's outfit,
Yeah, so good.
fantastic.
Stealing his look.
And then like going the Tin Man.
Yep.
Yes. Oh,
And I love, oh my god, Matt is just it's I love seeing him as a player.
yeah.
But for the, like, if you were a gem, what would you be? And
That was
role playing as she said jam.
that was
Oh
so
my god.
and the fact that he got some support for it because
Yeah.
there was like a bunch of pie bakers in
Yeah.
the crowd.
Like, you know what? Yes, peach jam.
And
Oh
then,
my god.
I think I laughed the loudest when it was later when someone else got asked the question. He's like, "Oh, Jam, fuck!"
Yeah, fuck jam.
Yeah.
I love Dariax so
No,
much.
you're right because this, like we said, it was a total shift in
Yeah.
the episode. I was very much, I was intrigued, but I was kind of concerned and a bit scared from the first half of the episode. It's like, oh, this is getting a bit dark. Like, oh, this is
Yeah.
getting a bit, we've got the issues with Opal and Ted. We've got
Mhm.
Dorian's mysterious backstory. Fern just had this weird encounter. We've got this new mysterious character joining the party. Like, oh, this is getting into like some
Yeah.
real kind of weedy territory. And then it's
Yeah.
like this.
Yep. And then we get this whole scene.
Joyful role-playing experience.
Mhm.
Yeah, like tonal whiplash, but in the best possible way.
Yep. Mhm.
I love Edge Ali's voice as Lyle. Like, it was so
Mhm.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'd say would be it's just his gorgeous voice, but no, yeah, them improving was incredible. Just incredible.
I loved Cinna bringing Orem into her talent.
It was just Liam role playing with himself.
Yeah. It's so good. So good. The meta of it all.
That is so true to Liam, like of either he gets to PvP with his friends against his friends, or he's just going to PvP himself.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
Reminiscent of Caleb Nat 20 punching himself in the face and how excited Liam was by like, yeah, I agree though. I love that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Anytime there's PvP or like
the angst of it all is so good. In one of the campaigns I'm playing in now, with some of the peeps from the Discord server, it is a very, very intense dynamic with all of the player characters. We are all very mainly my character. No one likes my character because my character's like working for the government and everyone hates the government, and so it's just very yeah. It's
that's hilarious.
But it's cool. It's cool. I love inter-party conflict and party angst and all that stuff. It's I live for it. I live for it.
Yeah.
While oh no, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Stormy Boy just reminded me the description of the statue.
Oh yeah, yeah, and like Liam's reaction.
Yeah, like I really kind of got in for that. That was really sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brie is awesome. The way she's kind of really taken aspects of campaign 1 and the reference she's like putting into it. It's nice. Yeah.
When I was watching it, I had to keep pausing it at different times because I was working on other things along with it. So I ended up being a little bit behind. And I remember I glanced over at the Discord chat and they were spamming Vex and Vax, and I was like, "Oh my god, do they like make an appearance like at this pageant? Like they're the ones who like give the crown or whatever it is to like the winner? Are they the ones who present the prize?" But then no, it was a statue
from like Shadowfell to do it. That'd be
yeah. I should have realized that. Yeah, I should have. Raven Queen, I must go back to my hometown to make an appearance at the pageant.
I'm a guest of honor at a pageant, on a beauty pageant. Just, well, by all means, go.
Yeah, you may go. I understand. I too was once a pageant winner back in my early days. Yep.
This is a fan fiction someone needs to write.
Yeah. Oh my god. The pageant for the gods. Yes.
The white stone color guard.
Yeah, I thought that was cool, and I love Matt's reaction to that, where he's like, "Yes, I love that."
I had to look up what a color guard was, but when I figured it out, that was really cool.
Yeah,
we don't have that here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the rifle guard or whatever it's called is really cool. A lot of cool stuff. While there was a lot of like chaos and stuff and absolutely hilarious moments, we did get the nice scene with Opal taking her turn, playing that nice little song that she did. Unfortunately, not rolling well because again, as we were saying before, like the dice rolls this campaign have just been so bad. Oh, but I mean, that's the nature of the game. Sometimes it's just the way that it is. But still a very sweet moment, and then once again everyone else backing her up, playing along with it.
Yeah,
very sweet.
Yeah,
while they don't seem to know each other very well, while they have traveled now for like a month now, it does seem like they're getting very close. It's nice to see.
And we did get a sense from Fyra that this is their last kind of chance.
Yeah, that was a bit ominous.
Relax.
So it's like, it's like, oh yes, we're enjoying this moment. This is so nice. But then at the back of our minds, we're like, this is the last time that they're going. This is it. Oh no.
It's the calm before the storm. Because I think, Byrodin is right at the tip of like... before it gets into the rife and mist and all the jungles, all the jungles.
Which again, because like we only have 4 episodes left, like shit must like hit the fan real quick.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm excited.
I'm excited, but also equally terrified. Let me look at. Oh yeah, we sort of talked a little bit about the ancestral wings and stuff. And like in like my headcanon, like my stupid tinfoil hat theory headcanon and stuff, that's totally not actually canon. Because we're so like there's so much mystery around Dorian's past and stuff. And then when he talked about these ancestral winged boots, I was like, oh, he's Hermes.
They're really good.
He's Hermes, plane hopping, like realm hopping. He's the ultimate messenger.
Yeah. There was like weird plane stuff happening. We've talked about this before, how this is like we're getting close to the convergence of the planes that like Rin was talking about. But they're like really good items. He's treating them, I guess, more as like a like apart from her as like an ancestral item, but as a magic item to use, they're like really powerful. So I wonder if he'll use them in combat at any point, or if maybe it was more seen as, no, these are like a fairly heirloom. They're not to be used for fighting. Because you can just straight up fly with them.
Yeah, it seems like each of them has like some special magical item that they have.
Yeah.
Because Dorian has the boots. Dariax has the cloak, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Opal has, I'm not sure what Opal has. Maybe it's something to do with, maybe it's the daggers. Maybe that was like the main thing. I'm not sure. Fern has the staff, the snake staff, I think is what it is.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
It's like I can't remember the name of it, but yes.
mhm. And Aurum, not sure what Aurum has. Could be the sword. We don't really know
Could be
much
the
about the
shield. It
sword.
might just be like a +2.
Yeah,
We haven't. It might just be like some plus weapons.
yeah. Could be
But
something.
oh no, what was I gonna say? Oh no, I can't
Oh
remember what
no,
I was gonna say.
fleeting,
Ah,
the fleeting memories,
it's
just like
like
the
if you
rest of the
like
care.
you
Are we
feel
in a
it.
time loop now?
Oh god.
Are we losing everything? Uh-oh.
Um, no, it's gone.
Oh
I'll come back later,
no.
I'm sure.
Yeah, maybe it'll come back. Um, look at my timestamps. I don't think I really have anything else, but it was I actually
I
didn't.
remember.
Oh yes. What is it?
Um, it's just like I really like how Matt's bringing up a lot with Dariax too. This sense of he goes where he feels the
Oh
adventure
yeah.
is, and he's kind
Hmm.
of pulled in the direction of adventure. And we get that sense he's got that compass, like the compass medallion is
Hmm.
his focus. Um, I want more from his backstory now because we're starting to get like hints from other people, and we know a bit about
Yeah.
Aurum because we know about the Air Ashari already.
Hmm.
I feel like we know the least currently. Obviously, we don't know about Dorian, but we know that
Yeah.
there's something there. We know the least about Dariax because
Yeah,
he's
that's
kind of just
true.
saying, "Yeah, go wherever I'm needed," but he's also got like some shadier aspects of his nature, um, but also just seems to be an explorer.
Yeah.
But his divine soul. Wait, is he divine soul? Yeah, his divine
Yes.
soul, sorcerer. So yeah, like I just want more. I just want to know like what is his connection to this
Hmm.
symbol, or what is his kind of understanding of his own power.
Hmm.
As essentially like a cleric sorcerer esque class.
Yeah, because I mean, with sorcerers, the power comes from within. So
Yeah,
he was born with this. Well, see,
and
supposedly
yeah,
born with
yeah.
this ability.
Um,
So, hmm.
I just want to check with sorcerers because they're probably the class I'm the least familiar with. I've never played a sorcerer.
Hmm.
I just want to check.
They're the Chad Wizards.
Yeah, so he gets meta magic now.
Oh,
So it's
level
going to be
3.
interesting. Oh, the idea of Matt Mercer like playing around with meta magic is really exciting.
Oh no. I think a lot of them get special stuff at level 3. Actually,
Yeah,
maybe
so we
not.
get
No, because Dorian gets the college.
he gets his college.
Liam,
Orem gets his
yeah,
fighting archetype. Uh,
and then
Opal chooses her
Opal,
pack.
yes.
Fern, we already know she's Wildfire, and we already know he's Sun Soul, but he gets Meta Magic. Druids at level 3. I don't know. Let me have a look. Druids at level 3 get nothing
Huh.
except second level spells.
Damn. Oh, okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, very Willy Wonka. You get nothing.
You lose.
Good
Yep.
day. Yeah. So she gets second level spells, which is
Oh,
pretty
okay.
cool.
That's pretty good. So I wonder, is Fyra now level 5? Because she leveled up with them.
Yeah. So 5th level monks.
It's Stunning Strike.
Stunning Strike, yeah. And
That's the big
second 2
one.
attacks.
Oh yeah. Huh. Definitely. I wonder if Abria wanted Angela's character as sort of like a protective guide to make sure that they don't get themselves killed in this way, making her a higher level as well as giving her this like sixth sensibility or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, to be fair, this chaotic bunch, they're probably gonna get themselves killed at some point, getting into
Or
various
they already
shenanigans,
have.
or they are.
Mm.
That's what time is a weird soup.
Time is weird soup.
God. But I mean, yeah, as we were saying before, this is it. They're now going to be
Yeah.
going into the thick of things.
It's all downhill from
It's
here for them.
like how now I'm just so I'm so worried now as how
Yeah.
this all ends, because I was already really digging these characters, but now, especially after this episode, I love them all even more. And God forbid anything terrible happens to these people. But now
Yeah.
it's like, oh God, we're halfway done. They have no more moments of respite. Oh God.
Yeah. They seem to be like throwing themselves into this, and I'm the same. I'm worried that it's going to be like oh, we didn't sign up for this. This
Yeah.
is terrifying. Like,
Yeah.
they've already got a vestige of divergence.
I know, like, what?
Like, who
How
are
could
these
things
people?
get worse?
Yeah.
What is going to happen?
God.
Why are we like this? Why are we attracting all of these different things?
Neo Umbra sums it up really well. I'm expecting a TPK with this group in every episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
It's
That is fair. My goodness. But is there anything else we want to touch on for this episode 4, episode 3? We kind of glossed over episode 3 pretty quickly. I don't think there was anything else.
It was very, like, I mean, there was obviously a lot of reveals that happened in that episode, but it was focused heavily on the shopping and
Yeah.
Gilmore.
Mm-hmm.
Not the Gilmore, on Gilmore.
But it was nice to know that Gilmore got married to Darius. A Darius, that is.
Another D name that
Yeah.
we're totally
Oh my gosh.
mixed up.
Yeah.
I did like the comment that he was in Marquette.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea that maybe he did go and revisit his parents.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was always like a really kind of sweet aspect of that.
Oh, hearing about Marquette just makes me hope that Campaign 3 takes place there. That'd be so cool.
That'd be really cool.
That's gotta happen. But anything else for episode 4? I don't think so. I'm interested about all these characters, but now specifically like the main mystery this episode was like Fern and all of that stuff. So I'm interested to see.
Yeah.
Especially because the Chimera, they're like an ancient tribe something. I'm not entirely sure what the Chimera's deal is. Yeah. They're kind of like the Mayans is kind of how I...
Yeah, was the insinuation that they're still around, or that there was ruins that they could explore to get the information they need?
I think it was just ruins, but maybe it could.
They're not being sent to speak to someone specifically.
It's no.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I'm getting very strong, like Avatar.
I was.
Of,
like,
the Sun Warriors.
Yep. I was just thinking that.
Still there.
Yep.
Also, we have dragons.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. So yeah, a whole lot of mystery surrounding Fern and that the High War Queen and that whole deal.
I'm probably most intrigued at the moment by Dorian's backstory and Ted's deal, whatever Ted's deal is.
Yeah. And just man, that scene between Ted and Opal was just so intense. And I hate like. Oh, okay, no, I like conflict and stuff because it's angsty.
Yeah.
But like when it's like yelling and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, yeah, okay.
And
I'm scared now.
Like,
yeah.
It wasn't even like heightened emotion angry.
Yeah.
It was because obviously Opal was in a terrible position, but it was also what's the word I want to use to describe this? It was very like personal attacks.
Yeah.
Especially from Opal. Like, she wasn't holding back in how she felt. It wasn't just like, you're always kind of around me. It's just like, because you never did anything with your life.
I was like, oh, shit.
Like, this is like real sibling talk. This is like a proper fight of something she can't take back.
Yeah.
It's just like, I hate you. You're annoying. Like, it was just like actual.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Concerns. Ah!
Yeah, they're going to have a lot to unpack whenever they figure out their stuff. For sure.
Unpacked.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And on that note, if there's nothing left to bring up, then we can go ahead and call this one a wrap. I'm definitely nervous, but equally excited for the next half of this series. And yeah, I hope you all stick with us as we freak out and discuss it. And hopefully, at the end of it, we're not crying because they all died. That's the
And then they
that's the
come
main
back and we
hope.
start it all
And
over
then,
again.
the series ends with them waking up at the start of this adventure, trying to figure out what's going on. Oh, that would be cool. That would be cool. But anyways, thank you all, as always, so much for joining us. People who tuned in live to chat with us, people who are going to be watching this on YouTube or listening on Spotify or Anchor or wherever else this podcast may find itself. Thank you all so much for joining us, as always. We really do appreciate you all being here and talking about Critical Role. It's super,
Hey,
super fun. Our shared
I like
passion
that.
stuff.
Critical
Yeah,
Role.
Critical Role. This is the new Critical Role dance. But yeah, thank you all so much. Don't forget to love each other. Spread the love to everyone you meet. But most importantly, don't forget to love yourself. That is the most important thing you can do. So make sure you're also taking care of yourself. Drink some water, eat some food, get plenty of rest. You deserve it. And I'm happy that you're here with us. So, with all of that being said, I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful rest of your morning, day, evening, wherever you may be on this glorious earth. And I'll see you all very soon. Bye, everyone.